Hello again. This is Nick Roach and we're outside again on the veranda. Makes it a bit noisy with the birds, a bit of wind sometimes, cars in the background, dogs. I think it makes it more interesting and enjoyable for you, even if what I'm saying isn't very interesting, so we'll see. Hopefully it sounds okay. I'd like to say a few words now. Title this talk The Next Level and Back to Basics. The Next Level and Back to Basics. Having written my autobiography a couple of years ago, that took us up to that stage where I was then, and at the end of the book I said I don't know what will happen next, but I can't hold out publishing the book forever, so let's get the book out and I'll keep people informed of any developments later on. Then, at the beginning of last year, I did a video called After Liberation or No Self, in which I described the awareness and the happening, the observer and the observed merging into one experience. And around the same time did a video about the two sides of being in the moment. I merged with the, intuitively at least, with the attachment to the moment itself, the creation of the moment. Those are two videos. And since then I've been doing videos about emotion, dissolving emotion, being conscious, and that's been my focus. And I stopped doing anything myself. Stopped making the effort because it was easy, effortless. Stopped having to try. Stopped having to push, work at it, because it was just here. Just easy to do. Everything was simple. Life was comfortable. Life was easy. And so why bother doing anything? My aim was always to end the emotional suffering. Here. So once that was no longer here and life was a pleasure, that was me, job done, finished. Now I just enjoy it. That's been great. Now online I've been speaking with people, and the view is of some of them that a lot of people the people who get into this state of what some refer to as pure being, they stop there. Because it's so comfortable, there's no need to push to achieve anything else. No need to go any further because they're comfortable and they stop there because there's no need to keep going. But these people describe there are stages beyond that, if you're open and you look to see what they are. And I try not to be too closed off with things. I like to keep my mind open, and if someone says there's more to do, I'll say, well, it doesn't feel like there is here, but I'll have a look. In this case, I found the next thing to do was going back to what I was doing for all those years. You see, in my first book, Enlightenment Simple Path, the message all the way through was be aware of where you are and of what you're feeling. As in, be aware of outside you, what your senses are telling you, and of whatever you're feeling inside, whether it's emotion, stillness, space, doesn't matter. It's the two, the inner and the outer, being aware of both at the same time. That was what I said throughout the entire book, kept repeating it. Be aware of where you are and of what you're feeling. That's it. And then when I connected and realised, let's say, the self inside, big S, higher, and became the space, the outside I sort of let go of. I was just quite happy being aware and watching what happened. Just being aware inside, just being this, no problems, no worries. Life just carried on. And it was only a week ago when, reading some of the stuff these people were saying, they've been in the state longer than I, some of them. One or two, there aren't many, but let's say, I was reading them. And they were saying the next stage is uniting with the energy behind the physical environment, not just within oneself. It occurred to me, but I used to do that. I used to be aware of the outside environment all the time. I just stopped doing it because there was no longer a need to do it. This was just comfortable. I was finished. So for a couple of days, I just spent the last week, spent the day while I was doing what I normally do, once again being aware of where I was again, intentionally putting a little more effort into what I was seeing, what I was hearing, what I was feeling for the physical body. Just a little more effort, because I've been putting no effort in at all. Haven't needed to, I've just been aware. Very comfortable. So by putting this extra bit of effort in, just to putting the attention into the space, it felt solid and quite simple and comfortable. Just took a little bit of effort, and after a couple of days it was pretty much the default state, and that's just about where I am now. I think it's a week later now. And it does feel like it's the next level from where I was. Giving it levels, different experiences, moving on, the next stage. And I see last year when, as I said just a minute ago, the observer and the observed merged, the awareness and the happening. It's almost as if they merged last year intuitively. The mental, emotional separation went, and they felt like one and the same. When you might remember if you've seen the video, I was really struggling with the words to describe it. It was quite intellectual, but it was very profound for me at the time. That's been the state since then. But now, as I put my attention onto the physical environment, still holding within, not that I need to hold it, I'm there. It has caught up. It's not an intellectual, emotional merging, intuitive merging, but it's the physical experience, it feels like. Sure, it's still separate. If I bang my toe, it still hurts. But something's changed. And as I said, the interesting thing here is it's only doing what I said to do all those years. And in the last year or so, since I've been making the videos, I've focused on being conscious and dissolving the emotion. Being within, all the time, being within. Because I myself had stopped putting the attention outside because I didn't need to. It wasn't important to me. The point was I was comfortable within. But for all those years, my whole life, it was being within outside and being aware of what was being within inside and being aware of what was outside of me. And almost these two messages could be separate videos, but as they've come as one experience and one event for me, I wanted to put them together, but they're very important. Feeling within and being conscious dissolves the emotion. But if you want to stop the mind thinking, the mind filling the space with images, with thinking, if your attention is on the outside, in the outside environment as well, watching what's happening, your attention is already filled with images. Here they are. These are the images. So your attention is already there, already filled, already occupied, which makes it very difficult for any thoughts and thinking to get in. You've already filled the space. Both in the sense of the emotion, your mind is still inside, The awareness is inside, so it can't move, can't go anywhere, and your attention is on the physical objects outside you and what you're feeling, the sensory world, so your imagination can't fill that space. So both you're holding firm. I've just spent the last few years focusing, telling people about the stillness within, because that's where I've been living all this time since it became effortless. But you do need both. You do need both. There might be times when you think you don't, and that's fine. But eventually, and initially, be aware of where you are, the space, of where you are outside you, physically, sensations in the body, and then what you're feeling inside, whatever that may be. And the full awareness is occupied, full. And then you stay in that space as much as you can, as often as you can. So the next stage, which I didn't know was here, is only going back to doing what I was always doing. And again, it's the next stage is realising a little more the experience of what I realised a year ago, becoming that bit fuller. And logic will tell me, therefore, there'll be something else beyond this. Which, of course, there has to be, because I'm still separate. And while one is separate in a body, there's still attachment to being separate. Therefore, there's still more living to be done. There's more separation to be dissolved. So it will go on. And it might be something really subtle. It might be something major. I have no idea. But the bottom line, be aware of where you are and of what you're feeling, and keep doing it. Thank you.